This video is all about hips. Now, Shakira said, hips don't lie. And she wasn't wrong. Strong and mobile hips help you move more easily. They can also help alleviate problems you might be having with your back, your knees, and your feet. So this is a series of exercises performed on your side to help mobilize and strengthen your hips. We're going to be using Pilates breathing for all of these exercises. So that means inhaling through your nose and then exhaling out through your mouth. And as you exhale, you want to be drawing your belly button towards your spine and contracting or lifting up your pelvic floor muscles at the same time. Doing those two things at about 25 or 30% of your total effort. So to begin, lying on your side, you're going to have your lower leg in tabletop position. So you've got 90 degrees behind that lower leg, bottom arm under the head, top hand is down in front of you, close to the chest. I want you now to extend your top leg away from you so it's nice and straight with toes pointed. And pelvis should be nice and level. So think about pushing your top hip away from you, creating a little mouse hole gap between your waist and the floor beneath you. You're now going to take an inhale to prepare. And now exhale as you slowly lift up the top leg to hip height. Keep exhaling now as you pulse down a couple of inches and back up. You're going to do that again, down a couple of inches and back up. Now inhale as you flex the foot, lower the leg back down. We're going to do that 2 more times. So point the toes. Exhale as you lift the leg to hip height. Keep exhaling now as you lower the leg a couple of inches and back up to hip height. And 1 more time, down a couple of inches, back up to hip height. And now inhaling as you flex the foot and lower back down. Let's do it 1 last time. So point the toes, exhale, lift that leg to hip height, keep exhaling and lower the leg a couple of inches, back up to hip height, and again, out through the mouth, belly button to spine, contract the pelvic floor muscles, inhale, flex the foot, lower the leg back down, and give that top hip, the hip you've just worked, a little bit of a squeeze, a bit of a rub. And we're going to stick with that same leg, the same side, and we're going to do some circles now for some rotations. So what I want you to do is keep that top leg just lightly resting on the lower leg, pointy toes. You're going to take an inhale to prepare, and now slowly circle that top leg up to hip height, and you're going to keep exhaling as you circle it down and round, back to your start position. Inhale. Circle back round again. So as we exhale, we're trying to circle just up to hip height and then back down and round, and then just let that top leg lightly touch on the lower leg as you inhale. Ready to go again. So we're going to do this 2 more times as we exhale, coming round up to hip height and back down. Inhale. And again, nice pointy toes circling around, up to hip height, nice little small circles. Inhale, when you finish that circle. So last set now, so circling, exhale, belly button to spine. Movement comes from the hip. Keep that pelvis nice and level. Inhale when you finish that circle. Exhale and circle back round again for me, nice and gently. Finishing with that top leg back down on the lower leg. I want you to bend the knee so that that top leg matches the lower leg now. Both legs in tabletop. Give that leg you've worked another little rub, another little squeeze. Bring the top hand down in front of your chest. Lift the top leg up to hip height. So knees, ankles, hips, all hip distance apart. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, slowly tap your top knee onto your lower knee, and then keep exhaling as you tap the top foot onto the lower foot. So both feet should be flexed now. Inhale as you bring that top leg back to your start position. We're going to do it 2 more times. So exhale, knee to knee, belly button to spine, contract those pelvic floor muscles.
Keep exhaling now as you try and tap the top foot onto the lower foot. So we're trying to rotate this hip as much as we can. Inhale back to your start position. One last time now. Exhale, so knee to knee. Try and keep this pelvis nice and still as well. And then inside edges of those feet together, still exhaling. Inhale, come back to your start position for a moment. Then lower the leg down. Give that top hip another little rub, a little squeeze. Let's do that all again on the other side. So you're going to slowly push yourself up with your hands. Swing those legs around. Set yourself up in exactly the same way. So we're going to be starting with those top leg lifts. So bottom leg is in tabletop position, so 90 degrees behind the back of the knee. Foot is flexed. Top leg extends out in front of you. Nice pointy toes. You want to try and have the fronts of those thighs in line with each other. Rest your head on the top of your lower arm. And again, checking that this waistband of your trousers is nice and level. So push the top hip away from you. Try and bring up the waist slightly from the floor. Top hand in front of the chest. I want you to take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift that top leg to hip height, nice pointy toes. Keep exhaling, lower the top leg down a couple of inches, back up to hip height. Let's do it again. So still exhaling, lower, lift. Inhale as you flex the foot, lowering it down. Let's do that 2 more times. So point the toes, exhaling as you lift up to hip height, still exhaling now, and pulse down and up. 1, down and up 2. Now flex the foot. Inhale, lower back down. Last one. So exhale, pointy toes up to hip height. Belly button to spine. Contract those pelvic floor muscles. Pulsing 1 and then 2. And then flex the foot. Inhale and lower. And again, so that hip that you've just worked, give it a little squeeze, a little massage. Just reset the rest of the body so neck and shoulders are nice and relaxed. Top hand is back in front of that chest, nice wide hand. We're going to start with this top leg still nice and straight, but pointy toes now the whole time. It just rests on lightly on the lower leg. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, circling round up to hip height, and then back down lightly onto the lower knee. Inhale, going in the opposite direction. So nice, slow, steady circles, coming all the way back round and down. Inhale. So that was 1 set. We're going to do 2 more. Exhale, belly button to spine. Contract those pelvic floor muscles. Come up to hip height, pointy toes, down. Inhale. Exhale, circling up and round to hip height. Nice, long, light leg. Keep exhaling and circle it down. Last one now, pointy toes. So inhale, exhale, circling all the way round, hip height, back down. And then last circle, inhale, exhale, circling up to hip height, round, back down. Woo, feeling this in those hips now. Give that hip a little rub, a little squeeze. You can bend that knee so the top leg matches the lower leg now. Both feet flex. That's just setting you up for those knee and toe taps. And now, so just check the waistband of those trousers are still level. So you want to have that little mouse hole gap between your waist and the mat beneath you. You're going to have your top hand down in front of the chest. Lift up the top leg to hip height now. This is where we're going to begin. Take an inhale to prepare. Now exhale and tap your top knee onto your lower knee. Keep exhaling and tap your top foot onto your lower foot. Good. Inhale, bring the top leg back to your start position. We're going to do 2 more. Exhale, slowly tap that top knee onto the lower knee. And again, trying to tap down the inside edge of the feet, of the top foot onto the lower foot, getting some good rotation through the hip now. Inhale back to your start position. Last one. Exhale, so knee to knee, really try and create a nice big gap between those feet. Keep exhaling. Now as you bring the feet together, you want to have a nice big gap between the knees. And then inhale back to hip height. Lower that top leg down. Last little squeeze and rub of that top hip. We're going to come onto our back now, finish up with a little double leg hug. So switch off your Pilates breathing, slowly bring yourself onto your back and arms by your sides for a moment. Legs hip distance apart, your eyes looking up towards the ceiling. And slowly now bring both knees towards your chest. Pop one hand down onto each shin. Give those ankles a little bit of a circle, the toes a little wriggle. Hug the knees towards the chest. Shoulders, backs of shoulders connecting with your mat. Eyes look to the ceiling. Just breathing normally. And then take the hands away. Bring them by your sides. Pop both feet down onto your mat to finish.